what's up? Today is my Surgerversary, if that's a word. It is 1 year since I joined the Loser's Bench, right? It's so crazy that I reflect on this year and I reflect on the last few months since my last video, and I'm proud. Like, I stuck to something. And you know, sometimes people think that we took the easy way out by having the VSG surgery. And can I tell you something? There is nothing easy about this. I remember the first month just crying, like, what did I do? And you can look at that video. I remember the excitement, and then the frustration, and then the addiction that I had to the scale, looking at it once a day, twice a day, and the battle that I had with eating, all of those things. I know how difficult this is. This is not an easy way out. This is a jump start. This is a tool. It's amazing. And here I am now, a year later, and I have journeyed this process. I didn't journey it, document it as much as I wanted to, but nevertheless, I have journeyed through the year. Will I keep this vlog going after this year? I don't know. I haven't decided. There are some things I still want to accomplish, but let me tell you, I started out in the high 280s, almost 290. I am sitting now at 189, been at like 189, 188, 187, within those 3 pounds. I've been there pretty consistently. I kind of plateaued there. If I could do it all again, I will tell you to stick to the plan that they gave you. Look, as I was watching these YouTubes, as I was preparing for my surgery, everyone was like, stick to the plan, stick to the plan. But when I went to get this surgery, I was in the 280s. I was very high in 280s. I had gotten to 290 before. And by the time I had the surgery, I was 255. The reason I say that is because when I imagine me having this surgery at a higher number. So when I had the surgery at 255 and I knew how much I could lose, I thought I would cheat the system. I thought I would incorporate more carbs. In other words, drink my juice and eat my breads, of course, in small moderations, so that one, I didn't lose too much weight. And then second, that I didn't have a lot of loose skin. Well, my goal was 200. I was already at 255. I knew I would pass that in the first few months and things of that sort. Well, I finally got to 200. And when I looked in the mirror, I was just like, I didn't think 200 would look like this. So here it is. Now I'm like, wow, I'm at 200. Now I'm going to be at 175. So I talked about this in my last video, that my next goal is actually 180. And my ultimate goal now is 175. Now I know that my honeymoon period is over. It's over, man. I wish I would have actually taken it a little bit more serious. I'm grateful that I have lost about 100 pounds. But if I could do it again, it would be easier to gain weight after I lost too much weight than to try to take it off at the end. So yes, I can still lose, and I'm still trying. I'm working out. I still have some things, some bad habits that I'm trying to break when it comes to eating. You got to remember, I've had these bad habits for 31 years. I turned 32 in December. So I'm still having to learn what to do, like how to navigate through this. Another thing that I would have done differently is I would have incorporated therapy. Now we talk about, yes, you need your therapy, you need your clearance, your psychological evaluation. The place that I went through, they do like a 3-month check-in. When you come in, you speak about it. But I realized that I needed help, so I reached out, and it was just like, yeah, they were like, well, you got an appointment coming up. Yeah, but no, I needed therapy. I needed help to figure out why I ate so much when I was anxious, why I could binge eat depending on how I was feeling. While I was an emotional eater, I needed help with that part, and I did not get that help. I started with a therapist I was in school at the time. I started with a therapist. Then the pandemic hit and everything went virtual, and I didn't get the same feeling. And so anyway, that is something that, as the pandemic is still rearing its ugly head, but that is something I am looking forward to this year, is therapy. Is really like talking through these things. Like, there's a lot of things, but I didn't get big, or I didn't gain the weight I had because I was born this way. Yeah, I was a big baby, but a lot of these things, it comes from trauma and things of that sort. So I'm excited about dealing with that this year, right? So if I could do it again, I would have had therapy throughout the thing. I will say this: I had to give myself some grace, and I thought about this. I had to give myself grace. Why? Because I was having surgery, weight loss surgery, during during a pandemic, where everyone was at home, where people were gaining weight, where outside activity was slim to none. And here it was, I was trying to lose weight in a period where people were putting on weight like it was nothing. It was difficult. It was difficult. Yes, there were times I didn't have any bad snacks in the house. I had the veggie stuff and all that stuff. But then there were times it was just like, I need something else. Like, the snacking and the grazing, the eating over pieces over a long period of time, and not just having dinner and lunch. Just being in the house. My church was shut down for a while. We weren't as open. Society wasn't as open. So it was a lot to have had this surgery through this VSG surgery through the pandemic. I remember the fear of if they were going to cancel my surgery or postpone it. And thank God that my hospital was still doing elective surgeries, because it was a larger hospital and they were still doing elective surgeries. But nevertheless, that was a difficult thing, having this surgery through a pandemic and going through this process during a pandemic. I will say this: I am so grateful I did this surgery. There's a confidence that I have that I've never had before. I shared that in my last video. There is a strength that I've had that I've never had before. I have never been this conscious about health for this consistent time, or this consistent amount of period. Going to gyms, thinking about what I'm eating, being more aware. This surgery has allowed me to become more aware. That is a beautiful thing. Now here it is, now that I'm out of my honeymoon period and I'm here and I want to lose more weight, the fear becomes, I don't want to gain my weight back. But yet I don't want to be a slave to the scale. So learning that balance is still beautiful. But overall, I'm so grateful I had this. I've encouraged people to have this, and I'm not ashamed that I have this. I have shared with this on my public pages. I have shared this when I've spoken in front of congregations, and I'm not ashamed of what the tool that I took. I am proud that I had enough strength and discipline to say, I needed a change in my life, and here it is. I took the measures to do it, and I know that this weight loss, this goal, is going to be a forever journey. But however, I am committed to being a healthier version of myself. I'm committed to being, I don't know why I feel like crying, right? I'm committed to being better. And I'm not just talking about looking better, but I'm talking about better on the inside. Sometimes we don't really understand how much our weight puts on us. Yes, physically it puts a lot on us, but emotionally it does a lot to us. It brings a lot of shame. It brings a lot of guilt. It brings a lot of embarrassment. It brings a lot of insecurity. So those are the things. Yeah, when you lose the weight, it's beautiful. But what are you going to deal with eternally after you lose it, or while you're losing it? Because that is just as important as the physical weight that you're losing. So I got to deal with that now. It's ugly, but it's beautiful at the same thing. And I think that is a part that I feel we should really tap into. So here it is, almost 100 pounds, like I said, because I don't know my highest weight. Actually, my highest weight was taken at a chiropractor, like maybe a couple months before I started this process. I will say one I am really excited for, I don't have any more pain with my feet. I used to have pain with feet. I used to go to a podiatrist, all of these things. I don't have pain. I used to have issues with my back a lot. My sciatic nerve, I barely minimally have issues with that. Do I still crave food? Yes. They said it doesn't make you hungry. I don't know how, because I am always hungry. But I'm gonna deal with that. But I honestly can say this was the best decision of my life. Would I like to get another surgery? I told you there's two things I want to do. I might do some skin removal, some plastic surgery later on to get rid of some loose skin. But we'll see. I want to wait another year before I even go down that road. And I also want to have my teeth done. So that is another investment that I'll make. But overall, health is wealth. And I think our journeys, it's our journey. And whatever way you get to it, of course with God, it's only one way. Amen. But whatever journey you get to that, it's your journey, whether it be by VSG, whether it be by gastric bypass, whether it be by losing it, whether it be by never even having had to have issues with your weight. Whatever it is to get you to your goal, you can do it. This one thing that I will take away from this year is that hard work, determination, and setting a goal is vital in our lives. And here it is, a year later, and I can finally say, I did it. I did it. I did it. I have been trying to lose weight my whole life. I remember as a kid wanting to lose weight. I remember being in elementary school, like, I wish I was as small as everyone else. I remember in high school. I remember middle school. I remember in college. Like, I remember going on vacation, looking at everyone else and like, dang, I wish I could do that. I remember trying. I remember health fads. I remember moments where it seemed like it was working, but it could never. I had so much weight that it just would not come off. And here it is. At 32, I can honestly say I'm doing it and I have done it. I'm doing it and I have done it. So here it is, 1 year later. I'm looking good. I'm feeling great. God is amazing. Thank you for this journey. I may continue this page, I may not. But if I don't, I want you to remember that anything is possible. And for those who are contemplating, who are watching this and they're contemplating if they should get the surgery or not, I'm telling you, the good does outweigh the bad. And it's going to be a journey. But a year later, months later, you'll be able to feel this feeling that I'm feeling to say, I did it. So I'm signing off. But I'm signing off with a grateful heart to say, I did it. 1 year.